Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is April, and if you're new here, I make DIY, fashion, and sewing videos, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you never miss out on a new video. This week, I'm going to show you how I made this super cute swimsuit cover-up matching set that you guys requested to see. I modified it a little bit from the design I showed you in my last video. So instead of a mini skirt, I made it long, and I also added some really fun tassels. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get started. Alright, first let's talk fabric. The first cover-up I made was out of a chiffon fabric with a burnout pattern. This material has no stretch, but it works fine with the loose flowy design. For this tutorial, I chose a striped knit fabric. Because it's stretchy, it'll be a little more comfy to wear, especially for the skirt. You can make it more fitted on your body versus using the non-stretchy material. The only thing about knit fabric is that it catches onto sharp edges easier and will snag the fabric, but other than that, I prefer a stretchy material over the chiffon. I bought 2 to 3 yards of fabric, and all you'll need to draft your pattern is a loose fit t-shirt. Since I'm working with stripes, I'll be cutting out each piece individually instead of on fold to make sure the stripes are lined up. Take your t-shirt and fold one side over to create a diagonal neckline. Then mark out the diagonal line and create a corner at the bottom. The sleeves are going to be batwing, so as you mark the side seam, round it out at the bottom of the armhole and draw the sleeves straight across. I'm just following the striped pattern. This is the shape I have marked out. I also want to mention that this batwing style top requires a lot of fabric, since everything is being cut out as one piece. If you want to use less fabric, you could just make the sleeves its own separate pattern and attach them to the top. Now cut out the first front piece and don't forget to add your seam allowance. The length of your crop top is all up to you. You can make it as long or as short as you like. Next, use that piece to cut out the other half. If your fabric has a wrong side, make sure to flip the piece over so it's mirrored before you cut. The backside of the top is even more simple to draft. Just fold the t-shirt in half and lay the front piece over it to copy the shape of the sleeves. And then just continue copying the back neckline of the t-shirt, or you can design your own neckline shape. I cut out 2 back pieces and there will be a center back seam. Now we can construct the top by first sewing the back pieces together down the center back. Then face the front and back right sides together and sew along the top sleeve seam and the bottom sleeve seam. And that's pretty much it. All that's left to do is hem the raw edges. Moving on to the skirt, first measure the widest part of your hips, making sure that the tape measure can easily slide up and down over your hips. And then divide that measurement by 2. Cut 2 long rectangle pieces that is as wide as your divided hip measurement. Since I'm working with knit, I can actually make the skirt tighter on me because it has stretch. But if your fabric doesn't have stretch, it's important that you make sure that the skirt can slide over your hips. I cleaned up the raw edges to prevent the fabric from unraveling at the side seams, and then sewed the skirt together at the top about 8 inches only because the side seams are going to be slit. My seam allowance was 1 inch, so after sewing the side seam, I folded over the rest of the skirt and hemmed the edges of the slit. Next, take some elastic and stretch and sew it along the top of the skirt to fit your waist. And lastly, I decided to add some tassel trim along the bottom edges of the top and skirt. Here is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope some of you try this out and let me know what video you want to see next. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more DIY fashion, and I'll see you next time. Bye!